The next question is how many types of database languages are? So let's see the answer for this question. So the first is data definition language or DDL. The example of it are create, alter, drop, truncate, rename, etc. All these commands are used for updating the data. That's why they are known as data definition language. Next is DML or data manipulation language. Example of it are select, update, insert, delete, etc. These commands are used for the manipulation of already updated data. That's why they are the part of data manipulation language. Data control language, DCL. Example are grant and revoke. These commands are used for giving and removing the user access on database, so they are the part of data control language. Transaction control language or TCL. Example are commit, rollback and save point. These are the commands used for managing transactions in the database. TCL is used for managing the changes made by DML. The next question that we have is what are the disadvantages of file processing systems? So let's see the disadvantages now. So these are the disadvantages of file processing system that are inconsistent, non-secure, difficult in accessing data, data isolation, data integrity, limited data sharing, atomicity problem, data redundancy, concurrent access is not possible. So this is the disadvantages. The next question is what is the difference between microkernel and macrokernel? So microkernel is the kernel that runs minimal performance affecting services for the operating system. In microkernel operating system, all the operations are performed by the processor. The next is macrokernel. Macrokernel is a combination of micro and monolithic kernel. Let's see the next question now. What are the 4 necessary and sufficient conditions behind the deadlock? So this is one of the most common and very popular and important question from the operating system. So if you have done computer science, you must know the answer for this. If not, please be prepared for this answer, because this question not only being asked in Tech Mahindra but also the technical rounds of other companies also. So also I would like to remind you that if you are preparing for MNC's interview, you can check the playlist section on our channel where we have uploaded several companies technical and HR round interview questions videos. So if you have not checked that, please go and check that also. So let's see the answer for this question. So the first is mutual exclusion condition. It specifies that the resources involved are non-shareable. Next is hold and wait condition. It specifies that there must be a process that is holding the resource already allocated to it while waiting for an additional resource that is currently being held by other processes. The next condition that we have is no preemptive condition. Resources cannot be taken away while they are being used by the processes. The last condition is circular wait condition. It is an explanation of the second condition. It specifies that the processes in the system form a circular list or a chain where each process in the chain is waiting for a resource held by the next process in the chain. So circular wait is also called as deadlock sometimes. So next, see the next question. What is FCFS? FCFS stands for first come first serve. It is a type of scheduling algorithm. In this scheme, if a process requests the CPU first, it is allocated to the CPU first. Its implementation is managed via FIFO queue. Next question is what is the difference between logical address space and physical address space? So this question is again from operating systems. Let's see the answer for it. Logical address space specifies the address that is generated by CPU. On the other hand, physical address space specifies the address that is seen by the memory unit. Let's see the next question now. What is fragmentation? Fragmentation is a phenomenon of memory wastage. It reduces the capacity and performance because space is used inefficiently. Let's see the next question now. Explain different types of networks. So now we are going to see the different types of networks that are there in computer networks. So first of all, we are going to see the network name and then the description for that network. So first is PAN, which is personal area network. So it lets the devices connect and communicate over the range of a person. Example, connecting Bluetooth devices. Next is LAN, that is local area network. It is a privately owned network that operates within and nearby a single building like a home, office or factory. Next we have is MAN, that is metropolitan area network. It connects and covers the whole city. Example is TV cable connection over the city. WAN is wide area network. It spans a large geographical area, often a country or continent. The internet is the largest WAN. Next we have is GAN, that is global area network. So it is also known as the internet, which connects the global using satellite. The internet is also called the network of WANs. So let's see the next question now. Describes the TCP/IP reference model. It is a compressed version of OSI model with only 4 layers. It was developed by the US Department of Defense (DoD) in 1980s. The name of this model is based on 2 standard protocols, that is TCP Transmission Control Protocol and IP Internet Protocol. Moving ahead with our next technical question, which is what are unicasting, anycasting, multicasting and broadcasting. So again this question is for computer networks. Let's see the answer for it. Unicasting, if the message is sent to a single node from the source, then it is known as unicasting. This is commonly used in networks to establish a new connection. Next question is anycasting, if the message is sent to any of the nodes from the source, then it is known as anycasting. It is mainly used to get the content from any of the servers in the content delivery system. Next is multicasting, if the message is sent to a subset of nodes from the source, then it is known as multicasting, used to send the same data to multiple receivers. And the last that we have is broadcasting. If the message is sent to all the nodes in a network from source, then it is known as broadcasting. DHCP and ARP in the local network use broadcasting. Let's move on to the next question now. So now we have covered the technical round questions. Now we are going to see some of the HR round questions. Tell us something about yourself. So this is one of the first question that you are being asked in any interview. So you have to introduce yourself. So let's see the answer for this question. Well, from this question the interviewer is not expecting your life story. Basically we are not going to give you the exact answer for this, because the answer may depend on you, like what you have done, your what are your qualifications and all those things, but we are going to give you some suggestions like how can you solve it. So however the way you project yourself for this question will tell about your personality. Remember, the rest of the questions which would be asked by the interviewer will be based on your answer to this question. While speaking about yourself before the panel, make sure you carry an eye contact with each person in the panel. Also include everything about you, like your educational qualifications, goals, hobbies, likes, dislikes, family backgrounds, etc. So you can answer your introduction in this way. Moving on to the next question, which is what makes you want to work at Tech Mahindra. So how you should answer is talk about your future with Tech Mahindra and mention how it is to work for the company. Make sure whatever you talk about the company before the panel must be genuine and accurate. While answering this question, you can talk about the culture and ethics of the organization, which will create a good atmosphere to work well for the company. If you have known about the company through the person who is already working, you can mention that and can tell what you have heard from the employee of the company. So you can answer in this way. Moving on to the next question, why do you wish to work in the IT field? So this question will be asked to you if you are from a non-CS background or you are from any different background apart from CSE or IT. So how you can answer that question is, from the response to this question, the interviewer will get to know the desire you have to do work for in the IT field. You can keep it like this: as the IT has much demand and is now in the booming state, and moreover in everything we use, since from we get up from bed, there is a software embedded in it, and I think as there is much need for it, why not I can be a part of it in its making, and thus I have decided to work in the IT field. Moving on to the next question now, are you willing to relocate? So as we have discussed in the previous videos also, that always say yes to this answer, because they might not ask you to relocate once you get the job, but if you say no to this answer, they might reject you because they have some predefined answers set up for all the questions. So they want their employee to relocate if it is needed. So moving on to the next question, how long will you work for this organization? Sir, I would like to gain more knowledge to serve the best for the organization, but at present would like to earn practical experience. If I need to do further studies for the sake of company, I am ready for that also. Moving on to the next question, can you lead a team on your own as a fresher? Sir, gladly I would be interested to run a team as a fresher. As a leader, I would know the strength of the team, each member, and get the best out of them. Initially, I would call them to inform the nature of the job assigned, and deadline would be set for the entire project. I would be constantly monitoring, and with motivation from all ends, I believe things will happen. So that's all for this video. In this video, we have covered all the technical rounds question as well as the HR round questions. To see more such videos, you can check the playlist section of the channel. Thank you.